Hi everyone! Today I'm going to explain the influence Moses had on the world and how he is still relevant today. First off, before we can look at his influence, we must look at his life. When the Pharaoh ordered that all of the Hebrew boys be killed out of fear that the growing Hebrew population would become a demographic and military threat to Egypt, Moses' mother put him in a wooden cradle and put him off onto the river. He then gets found by the Pharaoh's wife, who finds this as a blessing from the gods. As Moses grew up as an Egyptian prince, he is aware of his Hebrew roots. After stopping a man from being beaten by a Jewish slave by pushing him off a tower and killing him, he fled to Midian, where he stays for quite a while. He then goes venturing out and finds a burning bush which burns purple and doesn't catch things on fire. This is the first call from God to him to free the Israelites. Once he returns to Egypt, he confronts the new Pharaoh, his brother Ramses II. He said that if he didn't free the Israelites, God would send 10 plagues to Israel. 1. The Nile and many other water sources turned to blood, killing the fish. 2. Frogs came in the masses and infested the land of Egypt. 3. Gnats came in and affected the animals and people of Egypt. 4. Swarms of flies tormented the Egyptians. 5. Livestock died from a mysterious plague. 6. A painful rash of boils broke out on the Egyptians' faces. 7. A deadly hailstorm rained down on Egypt. 8. Swarms of locusts ate the remaining crops. 9. A supernatural darkness covered the land for 3 days. Although now they theorize that it's actually a solar eclipse. 10. The firstborn of every Egyptian family died, but the homes of the Israelites who marked their doorsteps as Moses had instructed them were spared. The final plague made up the Pharaoh's mind to let the Israelites leave Egypt. Moses, after giving his people, the Israelites, their freedom, leads them out of Egypt and parts the Red Sea, which is one of, if not the most famous thing he did. After that, he leads his people to Mount Sinai, where he receives the 10 Commandments, which is a key moral code for the Israelites. He then leads his people through the desert for 40 years. After his people finally reach the promised land of Canaan, he just dies. How tragic. Moses is a model of obedience, courage, and humility through his willingness to follow God's commandments, his bravery in confronting the Pharaoh, who is his own brother, and his self-efficating leadership style. He obeys God despite his initial reluctance, showing courage by facing powerful opposition with faith, and demonstrates humility through his constant reliance on God and his servant leadership that prioritized the people's needs and shared power. 1. I am the Lord your God. 2. You shall have no other gods before me. 3. You shall not make or worship idols. 4. You shall not misuse God's name. 5. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. 6. Honor your father and mother. 7. You shall not murder. 8. You shall not commit adultery. 9. You shall not steal. And 10. You shall not covet your neighbor's possessions. Moses has ethical influence. Concepts such as justice, freedom, and responsibility come from Mosaic law. Films like The Prince of Egypt and The 10 Commandments keep his story alive. Moses also stands as an example of leadership, perseverance, and standing up for oppression. He led his people through the desert for 40 years, even though they were rebellions and doubts. He also didn't quit even though the Pharaoh wouldn't free his people.